Hey dude, in this episode, we're going to be talking about a monster known as the God of Roadkill. It's one of the creatures created by Trevor Henderson, which makes it a Trevor creature, of course, and we're going to be talking about its appearance, its personality, and its powers and abilities. And even though there's nothing particularly funny about this entity, there are still some humorous things that I learned about it along the way. Without any further ado, let's kick it off. Let's talk about the way it looks first. The God of Roadkill is believed to be at least as large as a van, if not bigger, and it possesses numerous supernatural characteristics. Its head takes the shape of a bird, which features a lengthy and slender beak that tapers to a needle-like point. Positioned on the upper part of its head are 4 eyes, and all of them look to be like they're crudely drawn on. And instead of flesh, this creature's body is comprised of thin, crimson bones, which form a skeletal structure that bears resemblance to the upper portion of a human skeleton. However, the creature's neck surpasses the length of a typical human's, and its humerus is also unnaturally elongated. And strangely enough, the creature lacks a lower half entirely, relying on its arms to support itself on its spine. The photograph captures the God of Roadkill in a pose that almost indicates its reliance on its arms for various modes of transportation, like walking and crawling and running around to come get you. The sketch of the creature reveals stitches extending from its head down to its neck, which hints that its head may actually be some sort of mask. This could potentially explain why the creature's eyes seem to be artificially depicted, like they're drawn on rather than being naturally present. The God of Roadkill is depicted as a deity that's filled with intense fury and sorrow towards drivers who unintentionally harm animals on the roads. Now, although the exact reasons behind his anger and sadness remain unknown, Trevor Henderson, the guy who made the thing, right, provides some insight into this enigmatic entity. From the available information, it seems that the God of Roadkill possesses a compassionate nature, aiding deceased animals in their journey to the afterlife. Oh, that's cool. So he's like the Grim Reaper for animals. It is highly probable that the God of Roadkill's profound sadness and wrath stem from the countless animal fatalities caused by vehicular accidents, which subsequently triggers his desire to seek retribution by causing those responsible for the harm to lose control of their vehicles and crash. The true reason for the existence of the God of Roadkill remains a mystery. However, it's understood that individuals who come across this supernatural being while driving inevitably end up crashing their vehicles, although the exact mechanism behind these accidents remains unknown. So pretty much if you see this thing while you're driving, you're already dead, and nobody knows why. Given that there have never been any survivors, from these encounters, it's believed that the victims are either killed in the crash or by the God of Roadkill itself. The manner in which it appears on the road is unclear, leading to the speculation that it either teleports or simply materializes at the scene. Interestingly, a common thread among its victims seems to be their involvement in the accidental or intentional killing of animals through vehicular collisions or deliberate acts of violence. This pattern suggests that the God of Roadkill may possess a somewhat benevolent nature, specifically targeting those who have caused harm to animals. Strangely, the God of Roadkill does feel sympathy and remorse and pity for humans who do not hurt or kill humans, and even outright cares for those who got run over by others for selfish or criminal gain, and he even aids deceased humans in their way to the afterlife. Oh, this dude's turning more into like a Grim Reaper traffic cop kind of a thing. This reveals that the God of Roadkill isn't above helping humans who do not cause acts of animal cruelty, let alone the murders and pain givings to humans or children, with the latter being true, as he also abhors children getting hurt and, offed by others, even their own parents. And surprisingly, when his child victims somehow manage to survive these attacks, the God of Roadkill instantly sets his sights on their abusive parents and attacks and kills them out of anger and justice without even needing to lure them out to the roads. Oh, so this guy can just come in to your house? I guess that's good. If, your parents aren't nice, then he'll take care of them for you, I guess, man. Jeez, this thing is crazy. Let's talk a little bit about its powers and its abilities. It's got fate manipulation. The God of Roadkill can orchestrate unfortunate events in the lives of individuals. Specifically, this power manifests in the form of causing car crashes, but with a unique condition attached. It can only be triggered if the person involved has previously collided with an animal. It's also omnipresent. The God of Roadkill maintains an omnipresent presence, constantly observing and guarding every single road with unwavering vigilance. It can also have the ability to transport souls. One of the remarkable abilities that's possessed by the God of Roadkill is the power to transport the souls of deceased animals to the realm of the afterlife. This divine being has the capability to guide these ethereal essences from their earthly demise and ensure their safe passage into the spiritual realm and beyond. Through this extraordinary gift, the God of Roadkill fulfills a pretty crucial role in granting peaceful transitions for the departed animals and offering them solace and the continuation of their journey in the afterlife. There's a few pieces of extra trivia here about the entity, and the first one is, according to Trevor, the God of Roadkill perpetually carries an aura of sadness and anger, yet the exact causes for these emotions remain ambiguous. Nobody knows why it's so mad or why it's so sad. However, it can be inferred that the deity experiences intense fury whenever innocent animals suffer the unfortunate fate of being struck by vehicles and transformed into roadkill. As a result, it seeks retribution against those responsible for the accidents in an attempt to balance the scales of justice. It does have a handful of more powers and abilities that weren't covered in detail, things like immortality, clairvoyance, resistance to corruption, resistance to transmutation, the ability to transport souls, we did talk about that one, and much like Wolverine, fast regeneration. Okay, I was confused at first, because why would you need fast regeneration and immortality at the same time? If you think about it, that actually does make sense. If this thing gets hurt for some reason, and it's gonna live forever, imagine like being laid up for 6 months while being immortal. Wouldn't it be just nicer and just more convenient if you regenerated kind of on the spot and got to live the next 6 months saving lives, you know what I mean? Or at least transporting souls from one universe to another, like this thing does. There is no information on the deeds or the family tree of this thing, and as far as cryptid type goes, it's a vengeful death god. As per Trevor's belief, the God of Roadkill is said to manifest solely in instances where a driver unintentionally runs over an animal on the road, which contradicts a little bit of what was said before, because in the main bulk of the information, it said something along the lines of whether you intentionally or unintentionally caused harm to an animal while driving, you will see this thing. So I was worried, like what if I accidentally bumped into a squirrel or something, man, or like didn't see the rabbit on my way home, like I hate when that happens. But what if it was an accident? Do I still see this thing? According to Trevor himself, the answer's no. It has to be intentionally delivered harm. Another funny thing here is that in the danger tier list that's created by Trevor Henderson, the God of Roadkill is right in the dangerous but can be befriended tier. Imagine being like a wildlife creature and then having this thing just be your Superman. All right, that's all I got. I'll see you in another one.